y'all, welcome back to Blamverse Review. So today I brought the Kraden Krynn Demon Santa. This is from Fury Toys. This is apparently their original designed killer figure. And I just got these two outside of the box as well, so I'm quite new to this guy. And just taking these two out from the box, I haven't really, give it a go with a bunch of accessories it has, which there's a lot of them. It is pretty cool. And yeah, let's get into this together because I just got this guy outside of the box and I'm new to this as well. I'm quite excited to, give it a go and review these two together and show it to you guys. So that's the box. Not that, entertaining. It's just a image with the figure itself with some snowflakes at the back. But I don't know, it gives me those little bit of a comic kind of style, so it's kind of cool, those box arts. And as you can see, there are both figures available at the front here. Pretty cool. Yeah, I know, it's really cool. So let's get the box outside of the way, but if you do want to see the back side for both of these figures, pretty cool. So the Krynn is more of a cotton candy kind of vibe color. The Kraden, on the other hand, is technically just Santa Claus itself, and demonic version of himself, whatever you want to describe it, or however you want to describe it. But the figure itself are amazing. So I want to review the Kraden first, because I want to get into Krynn later on, though it's my favorite besides these two. Save the best for last. That's what people say all the time, don't we? Righty. So, let's get into Kraden. So Kraden comes with a lot of accessories, just like the Krynn. Well, by the way, this crown is an exclusive accessory that the company gives you when you buy these two as a whole set. I don't know, I think it's available for some store. On the other hand, some other stores don't really have it, from what I know. But I managed to get it, and I'm glad I did. So, yeah, I'm gonna attach it to Kraden later on, and gonna show it to you guys in a bit. Whew, I'm sorry if you hear any fan noises at the background, but it's really hot in my room without it. I really cannot review it without it on. So yeah, here it is anyways. The crown was just explained. We got the Kraden himself. You get the lower jaw section. Wow, that is nasty. That is nasty. Wow. Look how much gloss coat they gave to the saliva and things like the teeth things, if you want to call it. Damn, look at that. Wow, it's really nasty. Holy shit. Okay, just gonna take out all the accessories from the box. You get two separate pieces of hand. This is more like a thumbs up kinda looking finger, whatever you want to call it. But this is definitely for an axe that it comes with. So that is pretty cool. Look how rusty the metal is for the axe. Maybe that's looks like a blood stain, like a really old blood stain left over at the axe over here. That is pretty cool, isn't it? And you look at the handle of the axe, the texture is really nice. All the wooden textures, the black panel lines or whatever you want to call it, it's really nicely done. Anyways, back to the hands again. Look how nasty the nails are. Damn, look at that. Whoa, okay, wait, what is this hand for? Is this supposed to be for holding a candy cane? Probably. That is really cool, isn't it? Or does this exist to harass someone for having a tiny... Nope, anyway, we're getting sidetracked. No, that shouldn't be the purpose, of course, my bad. And you get two gifts over here with this is more like I don't know how to describe this color, light red. This is more like a purplish red with some yellow and blue ribbon with some weatherings all around. And it looks like a candy in my opinion. It feels like I can just chew it off. But nope, you shouldn't. Otherwise you're gonna die. Here it is. This is the horn. Reminds me of this Diablo or something. The devil from Blizzard or something. Blizzard. Okay, here it is. But wow, look at all the black washes with purple color generally. That is really cool. That is really cool. Oh, actually, it seems like the direction of attaching this thing doesn't really matter because they are both exactly the same. That is pretty cool. Look at that. You get the extra piece of beer, Santa beer, to attach at the top side, which you have a peg hole here. But I tried it before getting into this review really hard because of all the fangs, exposed fangs you see. I don't know. You see the hole at the middle section over here. You're supposed to put the nose over this thing. It's just really hard to do. So, not the crown. Crown is a separate accessories. There are so many stuffs. Look at that. Look how many candy canes you have. Damn, candy canes. I'm excited for this. Oh, I got a pair of, not a pair, a single socks accessories. Maybe it tastes like those apple Sour Patch gummies. I love the color scheme on this thing. Look at all these accessories, like for the Christmas thing. You got stars, you got the bulbs over here. Look at that, the ornaments. A star. Look at that, that is fascinating. Tons of accessories on this thing. 2 normal, average candy cane. I wish they are in a taste of bubblegum and possibly a peppermint. This is a orange and white colored candy cane. Maybe it tastes like orange and peppermint or something, I don't know. I'm not a type of person to go and crave over candy canes every Christmas or something. No, I don't know. Kind of feels like I'm gonna lose my teeth someday. But that is all the accessories for Kraden. Let's get to the figure itself, because it's pretty cool. The downside, this is new figure. Look at the scuffs I already have. I'm just gonna take it off, man. But it's really nicely done. It's really how interesting the pegs are done, because it's attached to the backside of the head. And my guy's bald. Look at that. Pretty cool. But generally the texture on this thing is amazing. Look at that. I feel like the overall quality of this figure is, at least the paintings are near to no difference to NECA figures that I collect. The Ultimate series. But the material, I feel like NECA is much more high quality. But here it is. And so the eyes are in pink. Look at the nose, look at the fangs, that's nasty as hell. Look how long the beard is. And I think I have to take this guy off because there's much more thing to look below. Behind the mustache. Look at that. Look at all those texturing. I don't think I'm going to attach this beard because of the issue I have attaching this thing. It's just really hard to do, so maybe possibly going to put this nasty jaw instead. Inside the torso area, look at that. Green with some the black belts, everything red inside. This is pretty cool. And this guy is quite massive for like a 7-inch figure. It's bulky as hell. It's bigger than those NECA Leatherface, the Ultimate series. It's pretty cool. The texturing on the clothes are really nicely done as well. Especially the fur section is really cool. You can take the clothes off, which I'm going to try in a bit. And what I love about the weapon that it has on its hand, it reminds me of my favorite killer, Freddy Krueger. I love these kind of claw hands, and they are really cool. I think I'm going to remove it for now and show it to you. It also has an articulation in every finger, like that. It's in a bit of like a ratchet jointed piece over here, so you can kind of move it in any certain direction you want. Not really any, but you can bend the fingers. Definitely reminds me of Freddy Krueger, but this claw seems way stronger than his weapon. Look how bulky it is. Look at that, and it perfectly fits to his claw section, and you get the peg at the lower section of this thing over here. Definitely cool. And I don't know. Okay, there are separate hand pieces. Oh, now that I notice it, the hand pieces are only interchangeable with its left arm. This stays fixed. Still gonna remove it for now. Ah, man, look at the paint mistakes at the back. That's a shame. Still, the belts are nicely done. The overall things are quite nice. You get the peg hole. It seems like you might definitely need it. And all the black washes for the costumes as well. What's really interesting about this shoe area? It looks like he's wearing a flip-flop. Maybe he is. Yeah, he is. I don't. Now that I look at it, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be a flip-flop. It looks like normal sneakers has been ripped apart due to this guy transforming from human to a demon or something. Maybe that's possibly the reason why the shoes are ripped. Let me know what you think about this, because I'm trying to look at what they were meant to do with this original design, but it is definitely pretty cool. And when you want to remove the clothing, you have to remove the peg for the arm. That is hella stiff. It's really stiff. Holy crap. Wow. I'm gonna remove this coat off. It's too much. And yeah, now that we took it off, we can see better with the clothes at the back. Oh, okay, that is really nice. I forgot what these kind of clothings are called, in English at least, but that is pretty cool. Oh, look at the buttons. It's actually ripped apart. Look at those nasty bones here. Look at that. Wow. It kind of reminds me of the Blight in Dead by Daylight. If you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about, or why I'm saying this. So I'll take the part off, and gonna put it to the peg again. This peg is really deeply attached to the body, and I think that is really cool. Wow, that is stiff. Whew, hurts my finger. Definitely. Am I gonna buy another figure from this company? Maybe. If they can assure that the joints aren't gonna be as stiff as how this guy is. Look at that. That's much better to pose now. But everything's rubbery for the clothing, with some bit of paint smudges at the back. The coat is really big. I think the coat is what makes this guy as bulky as hell, but without it, he's just fine. Oh yeah, the candy cane and gift things at the pocket and the jacket. That is quite cool, isn't it? Okay, we have him, and what I'm gonna do now is I want to attach the crown first, because this is one of the reasons why I got these two sets. I wanted this exclusive accessory for these guys. Look at that. Yeah, I know he's jawless, so let's put his lower jaw over here. Look at that. Wow, look at that. That is nasty. Look at that. Holy crap, that really is horrifying. Wow. Especially with the crown, this is pretty cool. An exclusive item. Very small head. I mean, or an average old man's head. With the size of the lower jaw being as big as twice of his head or something. But if we put the normal Santa Claus hat on again... Crap. Why is it so tough to attach these accessories? Here we go. That is cool, isn't it? That is really cool. You can do these kind of stuffs with this figure. And I want to change the hand and actually give it a go, because I feel like this hand is meant to either harass someone for having a tiny thing, or... I know, I'm just joking, guys. Come on. Or to hold the candy cane, because I feel like that's the purpose. Want to change the hand accessories over here. There we go. Look at that. Wow. Okay, let's see if it works, because I feel like this is the purpose of this figure. Yeah, you can do that. The finger pieces are not in super solid plastic material. You can kind of bend it, so you can technically just push the candy cane in between. And yeah, there we go. That's what we have. And of course, finally, let's try to put some horns here. Because I feel like this is quite a cool accessory to have. Maybe I should put the coat back on, because I feel like that's what makes this guy even better. There we go. Look at that. That is creepy. That really is horrifying. With all these gifts, with him, with some possibly another Christmas tree, tiny Christmas tree you can get from somewhere else, you display it with this guy, that is gonna be awesome. And if you want to attach the X on the other hand, here, look at that. That's to hold an X. But I feel I'm gonna display this guy with the candy cane on him, and it's pretty cool. Wow, look at that. That is just amazing, isn't it? Such an amazing piece, like, really is. And I think for this hand, you can also get this piece of socks and attach it to the finger. That is pretty cool. And I hope this socks doesn't stink. I don't know who the socks belongs to, but I don't think kids will like it. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this guy's review off with the costume on himself. So I just put the Kraden there with the costume back on, and I feel like the Santa Claus is definitely necessary. It's what makes this figure have its Christmas vibe and all. Without it, no, not that much. I actually really wanted to attach this beard instead of that lower jaw, but I think that's a bit more creepy looking. And now we can finally get to Krynn. Love the color scheme on this guy as well. The cotton candy vibe. Look at that. There we go. And for the accessories with this guy, it's technically the same as Kraden. You get the discriminating finger thing again. Have the opened hand. And he already has the X, the weapon holding hand, attached to this guy. And what you have on this guy instead of an X is a really quite sharp knife. It seems like you can actually poke it through your skin. It's quite sharp, but it is bandy. But definitely be careful. I almost poked myself just now, and it hurts. Another blood stain on this thing. Doesn't seem as old as what was on the axe for Kraden. Another wooden texture that's really nicely done. You get another 2 accessories for the gift part. And it's in different color. Just have a look, and you'll see. I like how it has those kind of ruined box at the side. They both are in different color scheme. This is Krynn's, this is Kraden's. But whatever, if I have both, I can use it for whoever I want this to. Okay, let's get to the horn. This is more like a reindeer kind of horn. Rudolph? Maybe he killed a Rudolph and he is using this for himself, perhaps? I don't know. If that's the case, it's gonna be really disturbing. Oh wow, he got purple socks. Look at that. And you get the same Christmas accessory thing. Oh, look at that. You get the white and blue candy canes. Look at that. Oh, okay. Seems like there's not much of a paint difference. These two are the same. This is more of a darker blue, if you cannot tell, but this is more of a darker blue. Pretty cool. And lastly, we have a whole chain for the bear trap on his hand. So that's a peg. That is amazing. I think I'm gonna use this chain to get all the bear trap things done for this guy. And yeah, I mean, we had a look into the gift box, the socks, the horn. I feel like I want to keep the hat for this guy instead of the horn. Maybe a crown looks better on this guy. We saw a knife, the chain thing, which I'm going to use in a bit. Same hand, like Kraden. Same Christmas thing. So let's get straight to this guy over here. Look at that. See, look at his head sculpt. This guy has his tongue on his fang. Kinda concerned in case it pokes his own tongue. And he screams in his own pain. Maybe. I like how comfy this costume looks. Well, generally there's not too much of a difference when it comes to Kraden and Krynn. So, Krynn has exactly same mold for the arm piece. It's just this bear trap thing is different compared to his Freddy Krueger-like claw. Everything's mostly the same. Same with the shoes and thing. It's just more about the color scheme. Yeah, it's just the colors, so not much too difference between those two. The color for the candy canes and the gifts are different. And the head is... I don't know, let's take the head out. The texture is really nicely done on this thing as well. The head looks quite... Yeah, they look similar, it's just a paint difference, man. His beard are in white color, because he's Santa Claus. Not so sure what this guy's based on, but he doesn't have a white beard. Maybe, because it feels like I can attach the beard to this guy, if I have both of them. And you can give it a bit of joy to your figure, trying to swap things with each other. Possibly. Let's try. Yes, it works. You can attach the beard on this guy, and I think I like this. The beard issue, but you see, that is pretty cool. Wow, look at that. That is cool. You can swap the accessories with each other. They're all interchangeable because they share the same mold and things. Wait, so this guy doesn't have any other accessories for its jaw. That's unfortunate, because I actually wanted him to have the extra jaw kind of piece, just like the Kraden. But I guess I'm gonna leave it like this, because this is how he's supposed to look. And if I put the reindeer looking horn, which doesn't go all the way in, it's kind of stiff. Damn, man. Let's just give it a bit of... It's like that. And I think that looks a bit silly compared to Kraden. Still not a bad accessories. I think I'm gonna put this guy with the hat on, or either let's give it a try for the crown. Nah, no, hold on. Why are these accessories so hard to attach to each other? It really is hard. Look at that. Oh, that looks quite cool. Okay. Yeah, the crown is really hard to attach for this guy. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard, actually. If I got the crown, which is an exclusive accessory, I wish I can use it. But apparently it's really hard to attach on his head. Very unfortunate. There we go. I'm just gonna keep it like this now. Whatever. But same stuff, different color scheme. Let's have a look at the bear trap though. Look how mechanic it looks. Oh yeah, I want to take it out because I want to use the peg for the chain and things. This chain over here. So it seems I have to get rid of the peg inside here to use the chain, but seems like that's gonna be tough. Look at this! I'm a trapper in Dead by Daylight. Oh, it's really wide. Never mind. But looks like, look at all those details for painting. Look how rusty it is. It's old, mechanic. Look at that. The screws and bolts, the spiky things at the wrist. Wow, look at that. Damn, man. That's really cool. Love this thing. I want to try to remove the peg, but apparently I got no tools to properly remove the peg without any breaking stuffs. But if you do put the peg here and things, that is gonna be really cool. He can just smack it on certain survivors or something. But that is such a cool design. It really is. Oh, damn, look at that. I feel like these two are gonna be really good figures for photography. And I'm already enjoying this. Like, look at that. Look how... Damn, man. Look at that. Maybe put a knife. I kind of feel it's weird to have weapon for both hands. So I'm just gonna give it a candy cane kind of look thing on his hand. Over here, like that. Like that. That is pretty cool, isn't it? Look at that. Well, so same stuff for both of these figures. They both have its own charm, but if I only have to go with one figure, I don't know, if you're the type of person who loves cotton candy, kind of bright color, pastel toned and things, go with Krynn on the right. Otherwise, if you want to go with classic Christmas horror kind of theme, go with Kraden, that's what I'm gonna say. But this is not it of the review. There's so much things to look at. I'm pretty sure my review is already boring at this point, and quite a lot of people shut in my video down already, but well, whatever, what can I do? The articulation. The head looks up about that much, downwards that much, not that much honestly. It's double ball jointed, so you can move it in any direction actually. There's a crunch to forward and backward, a side-to-side rotation for the wrist. The arm goes up all the way about that much. Of course it rotates. There's about 90-degree, little to no, not all the way to 90. Maybe it is. It can go all the way to 90-degree if you look at it. If you look how it's structured, it's just really stiff. The wrist is ball jointed. The finger moves for this guy. The bear trap opens and shuts for a Krynn. The leg goes up, down. Oh, side-to-side rotation for the knee. Of course, it crunches. There's a pivot for the feet, goes up and down for short. It's just, if you move it in certain direction, this guy's gonna fall straight ahead. So make sure to be careful with that, I would say. And keeping his hand upwards just makes him lose his balance way easier than usual, it seems. Still. He's a cool figure. I like that. Look at that. Look at that. That is massive. Pretty cool. That was Kraden. Maybe a simple pose for Krynn. This guy stands better, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, though. Maybe you can make him bend his knee a bit. Make him stand like that in a certain position. Hope this guy don't fall off so easily, otherwise I'm gonna be flippin' depressed. Look at that. These two are amazing. Look at these two, they are amazing together. Yeah, candy cane. Man. But, yeah, you can do so much things with these guys. It's amazing. Definitely. But definitely feels like it's not a figure to play around with. The joints are really stiff. The details are nice for sure. A little bit of paint chipping, I can see it occurred. Definitely some scuffs for it being a new figure, which is very unfortunate. The joints are not as smooth as those NECA figures or Marvel Legends. Do not expect those kind of great joints. Well, I'm not saying these guys are poor in articulation. Without the coat, they are just fine. But not that smoothly articulatable, if that's even a word. a lot of accessories for its price, and yeah, I mean, if I have to give this guy a rating for both of them out of 5, I think I'll give it a 3.8 in my very brutally honest opinion. Why is that? The general quality is just not as that great as I thought. I'm not saying the details are poor, the details are definitely in 5-star, but when you feel it and touch it with your own hand, you will kind of know what I mean. And this is just my opinion as well. Not biased or anything, not recommended by anyone or anything. Just my personal opinion. Pretty cool. Look at that. Still, besides that, with all the accessories it comes with, worth the money for the accessories for sure. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, because having 2 figures to review at once is just kind of a lot to me, especially when there's tons of accessories here. But if you watched all the way to the end of the video, I do appreciate it, because it was kind of a disaster, honestly, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll come back with another review.
We trust joy with every bust. Action figures in a row, bringing smiles as they glow. Superheroes on the shelf, each one made with love. Unboxing magic every week, happiness we always seek. Living in a toy land,